Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brent Corbett. First and foremost, I would love to give a special shout out and a thank you to the Alpha Leaders team for having me featured onto this channel. It means a lot to myself. It means a lot to the brand and just the mission that we feel like we're called to continue to inspire and motivate others. But a little bit about myself. I am a mental health practitioner at UCLA Psychiatric Hospital. I have an undergrad in psychology and I have a master's in business. But more importantly, I'm a motivational speaker. Something that I feel like I'm called to do is help you find that purpose through your pain and help you turn tragedy into triumph. And being called to that, I also started my own brand. I'm the founder and CEO of What's Your Royalty LLC. I'm excited about this positioning in my life and to continue to grow in these avenues. And I've also been featured on a couple projects, one of them being a global project recently. I've spoken at a few leadership seminars and events, and right now I'm in the pursuit of speaking at educational and organizational foundations. So as we continue to grow in that avenue, in that space, I want to help you continue to grow in yours. But that's also being your best self, walking out your royalty. See, being your best self also comes with a few responsibilities. And one of them is being a leader. How do you become a leader within your daily walk? A leader within your families, within your communities, within your workspaces, or within any environment that you're entertaining? How do you measure the amount of encouragement that you have in your life? And that's through self-belief. See, that's another responsibility that we have of being our best selves. Because when those doubts, the whispers of doubts that come in and become a little too loud, you'll know how to dismiss that distraction. And another responsibility is when adversity comes knocking, those hard times come approaching in your doorstep, you'll know how to respond with a sense of encouragement, a sense of self-belief, knowing how to be a leader to overcome those hard times, because whatever was sent to break you simply couldn't, and it's not meant to. So as we go ahead and take a deeper dive in being our best self, let's go ahead and exercise being a leader in our daily walk. Let's go ahead and have an unmeasured amount of self-belief. And let's go ahead and navigate around adversity, because those are the things that's going to help us leverage into the people that we deserve to be, walking in our true identity. See, leadership or being a leader isn't condensed to just one definition. I feel like a leader is made up of multiple qualities. It's made up of a magnitude of different characteristics that help this person or individual grow in their life. And one of these characteristics that I feel like is extremely important is the concept of accountability. When you're held accountable, you're also allowing others in their lives to do the same. You're giving them permission to hold themselves accountable. But when you exercise that in your life, that means you are going from being counted out to being counted on. And that's an extremely important characteristic to have if you're going to consider yourself as a leader. Another quality that I feel like is extremely important or is valuable is this concept of letting go of fear. I think fear is such a constricting asset that prevents us from moving in the spaces that we're meant to be moving in. It constricts us from meeting our full potential. And I think that when we finally navigate around fear and understand that fear is just a mindset, then we start to grow in avenues and places and start to elevate in areas in our life that we never expected. See, it was once said that we should reward excellent failure and punish mediocre success. And I feel like if you live in mediocrity your whole life, all you're doing is living in a space of complacency. And us as leaders, we have to grow. We have to get past that so we can go ahead and pass down to others how to become our best selves and give them permission to go ahead and lead in their life, in their families, in their communities, in whatever walk that they desire to walk in. And I feel like one of the most important characteristics that we have to adjust to is understanding the importance of time and how time reflects in our investments into ourselves. See, I think being a true leader understands that time correlates with a sense of identity. So the more time that we spend in making sure that we become our best selves is the more time that we have to be able to manifest what it is that we want to be. It's the self-investment. It's how much I put in and how much I will receive. And I think your identity is based off of how much you're willing to invest. How much are you willing to sacrifice? So understanding time is in straight correlation with the idea of identity, and you have to be affirmed in who you are, and that's what a true leader is. So when you take all of them together and you put them into a little melting pot and you see it grow and manifest into what it is that you feel like you deserve to be, then you are also walking in the space of being a leader, and that's unmatched. Yo, hear me when I say this. Stop living in potential. See, there's a difference. If you're living in potential or living out your potential, you're balancing out one or the other. Living in your potential means that you're doing things that you feel like you can sustain, things that are of comfort and living in complacency. But when you're living out your potential, that gives you room to elevate and grow. See, a lot of us in our life like to live in potential. The idea that you could possibly do something, the concept that you can possibly achieve something. But when you live out your potential, that comes with tangibility. It comes with a responsibility of forward movement. And that's leaving what was once behind in the past, and that's giving availability for what's coming next. See, I feel like when you live out your potential, you're also giving yourself the sense of comfort to grow in the avenues and the spaces that most people aren't. And that comes with being your best self. But when you're living out your potential and you're living in a place where you know that it's going to take risks, it's going to take chances, it's going to take self-investment, then what you're doing is you're believing in yourself. You're giving yourself the permission to be your best self. And to be your best self, you have to have an unmeasured amount of self-belief. See, there's this concept where you won't learn how to swim being at the edge of the pool, watching other people swim, thinking that you can do it, but not actually doing it. There's going to be a point in your life where that level of potential means, and it meets the idea that you have to physically do something. So now to actually learn and to actually know that you can swim, you have to dive. You have to take that leap of faith. You have to understand that it's going to take some tangibility, some work, some encouragement, some self-belief to know that you can go ahead and do what you're called to do. Do what it is that you believe that you're destined and desired to do. See, I need you guys to do me a favor. Do me a quick favor. Grab your fist and hold them like this. See, a lot of the times in our life, what we're doing is we're doing this. We're walking around with closed potential, holding on to the things of our past, holding on to the things that we fear, the hesitations, the doubts. We're holding on to the idea and the concept of what was once was. And when you have your fist closed like this, you can't receive. You can't open up. You can't accept what is supposed to be yours. So if I'm trying to grab things like this, I can't. But once I go ahead and release, when I go ahead and release the things of my past, when I go ahead and release the things that I was bound to, when I was stuck to, old situations, old relationships, when I was stuck to old ways, I couldn't receive what was meant for me. But when I go ahead and do this, now I'm giving availability for potential. I'm giving availability to go ahead and believe in what is coming next is meant for purpose. It's going to draw me in, and it's going to give me the idea that I can go ahead and receive what's mine. See, when I open my hands, now I'm available. Now I can go ahead and step into what I feel like is newness, opportunity, and letting go of the fear and the distraction of what was once was, and allowing me to go ahead and step into what is. And I think that when you believe in yourself, you stop walking around with closed fists and you start walking around with open hands, because now you're available. Now you're able to receive. And that's a gift. That's how you go ahead and be your best self. And that's extremely important. So I encourage you, as you walk around wanting to be your best self, you also have to understand that it comes with the responsibility of believing in yourself, an unmeasured amount of self-belief. And that's also opening your hands to newness, to the opportunities that are meant to come your way. And when you start to walk with that sense of confidence, nothing can touch you. They say everything has flaws if you put the right lens to it. And if you're walking around with any sort of clarity, you would understand that life is always going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you to see if you really want to live the life that you say you do. See, when adversity comes knocking on your door and hard times come and present itself, you have to be willing enough to answer that call or answer that door with a sense of perseverance, with encouragement, with sustainability, durability, talking about having self-belief and having those leadership qualities that help you get over any sort of distraction that's in your life. See, what was sent to break you, it can't. It can only distract you. And if you allow it to distract you long enough, then that's the times that we become weak in our identity. We become weak in the way that we want to move. But adversity was never sent to weaken you. It was meant to strengthen the things that were weak in our lives. And you're only as strong as the weakest character that brings you down. That's an anchor in your life. See, I feel like adversity is a character builder. I feel like it's a necessity in life. I feel like it's one of those things that we can't run away from. See, adversity is something that we can only hide from. We can only put it in the back burner. We can only put it in positions where we try to ignore it. But hard times, hardships, it's inevitable. It's always going to present itself. But the people who really excel in life are the ones who stick around long enough to touch the reward that is on the other side of adversity. See, we're all faced with challenges. We're all dealt with certain cards that maybe aren't easy to play, or we're dealt with situations that can define our character, that can define who we are, trying to be our best selves, but we can get mixed up into situations. And a lot of times, if we're not equipped or armored with the ability to be strong enough to go ahead and persevere through hard times, that can be a detriment in our lives. And I feel like hard times aren't meant to break us, because whatever was sent to break you, it can't. You're too talented, you're too gifted, and you're put in a position of readiness to go ahead and excel from whatever it is that you're going through. So I challenge you. I challenge you with the idea of accepting adversity, of greeting it with the opportunity to go ahead and get better. Because once you've demonstrated how to get better from adversity, how to overcome challenges in your life, you're giving permission for others in their lives to do the same. And that's how you are. That's how you exemplify leadership. That's how you become your best self. That's how you showcase and demonstrate that you have an unmeasured amount of self-belief, is knowing how to overcome the inevitable. And we can't run from our challenges. As much as we want to hide, as much as we want to escape, as much as we want to dim the light on these struggles, we can't. They always come to surface. It always comes to the forefront when we least expect it. But you're built for this. You're built to be better. You're built to grow. You're built to showcase who you are. And there's no dark moment that's going to push you into a position where you can't excel. If anything, your light isn't meant to be dimmed. It's going to shine brighter in darker moments. And I feel like this is what we're called to do. Be strong in the moments of adversity. Be strong in the moments of character building, of struggle. Because if anybody knows, I know. I know how it feels to feel weak, to make mistakes, to understand that we're human. And being human means that you're going to go through certain things that you don't want to go through. But under that sense of pressure, under that sense of growth is the production of something new. It's the production of strength and encouragement. See, it's said that it takes a certain amount of pressure to burst pipes, but that same amount of pressure is equated to go ahead and create diamonds. And that's what you're going to do. With any moment that it's presenting itself to crack or rattle your foundation, you're going to shine through it. And that's what you're deserving of. See, adversity, it's a sense of turbulence in your life. And when you get past that sense of turbulence, when you excel and fly through, then you understand that you're built to be something different, unique, and you should showcase your uniqueness. See, it said that if you go through the fire, you might get burned, but you come out a better person. You come out stronger. You come out with wounds, but your wounds are meant to be showcased. Your scars are meant to be showcased. The things that you've been through in life, because there's nothing perfect. There's nothing perfect that you go through. And you're deserving of being able to receive the gift of growth, the gift of rewards that come from the darkness, that come from the things that we struggle with. See, I would love to tell you that things get easier. I would love to tell you that things become a little bit more simple. And I'd love to tell you that life will pity you if you've been through enough. But the reality is that life is going to continue to challenge you. Moments are going to continue to get harder. And the more that you elevate, the more that you grow, you're going to come across new challenges, new adversities, new struggles. But with every moment of growth and every moment of scaling past what you've been through, it gives you a patch of honor that allows you to be better. And because of that, you're deserving to continue to write in your book with each chapter showing that you deserve the happy ending. And at the end of the day, there's no such thing as perfection. So when you stop chasing your perfection, when you stop chasing after the things that you seem to be perfect of, you understand that progression has always been the goal. Progression has always been the milestone. Progression has always been the end product of what it is that we're meant to be. We'll never be perfect. And because of our adversities and because of our struggles, we only get better. So I encourage you to find your why at the end of all this. So when you're tested with adversity and you're tested with struggles, you will answer that test with your why, your reason. And if your reason is attached to materialistic things, if your reason is attached to idolized things, if your reason is attached to instant gratification, then you'll end up struggling through your adversities, through your hard times. Because if your why is associated with things that can be taken away, then you'll find yourself crawling back to a position of trying to get better based off of those things. But if your why is associated with positivity, with encouragement, with the things that can't be stricken, the things that can't be rattled, if your why is associated with love, if your why is associated with self-growth, if your why is associated with sustainability, with being able to find positioning in your life that you find pride in, then at the end of the day, your struggle won't amount to the reward that you have that's coming from your why. So I challenge you, as you navigate through life, as you understand that life won't be easy and you'll continue to be tested, I challenge you to understand that your why, the availability to not run from your fears or from the adversities or from the challenges, and the instinctual fact of being able to stand ground in the struggle, in the storm, to weather that storm. If you can do those things, adversity doesn't become your struggle. It becomes a part of your reason. It becomes a part of your why. It becomes a part of your story, the book that you're writing. It becomes a part of your successes. And you guys deserve that. Again, there are many facets and characteristics that allow you to be your best self. But I continue to lean on the idea that if you master being a leader in your life, if you tap into your full potential, and if you navigate around difficult and challenging moments, then you'll genuinely be your best self. And I want that for you. Again, my name is Brent Corbett, CEO and founder of What's Your Royalty. You guys can go ahead and reach out to me through Instagram. My Instagram handle is B_Corbett23, or you guys can email me at brentcorbett23@gmail.com. So BRENTCORBETT23@gmail.com. Or you guys can check out my new website, brentcorbett.com. Major shout out to Alpha Leaders. Thank you guys again for having me featured onto this channel. You guys are top-notch motivation and inspiration, and you know I'm here for it. Let's go ahead and continue to inspire royalty.